Today's topic is how to create the kind of presence that naturally makes a woman feel drawn toward you, even if she is not initially interested and before moving forward. It is important to clarify that this is not about tricks, pressure, or forcing someone into feelings they do not genuinely have. This is about understanding human psychology, attraction dynamics, and the inner shifts that occur when a man stops leaning outward for validation and begins standing firmly in his own grounded identity. I have observed this pattern countless times, men chasing too intensely, hoping their effort alone will create desire. But attraction does not grow from pressure, it grows from emotional strength, presence, and self-respect, and many men misunderstand this because they believe doing more will suddenly change how a woman feels, when in reality, doing less with intention, steadiness, and calm confidence creates far deeper pull, and this truly matters because a woman not showing interest does not automatically mean she never could. It simply means nothing has sparked yet. And often the spark appears when a man changes the way he shows up in his life. His energy, his expectations, and his sense of inner balance. When a man seeks approval, he loses the natural connection he could have had, because approval seeking shifts his emotional center toward her reactions, instead of staying anchored in himself. And this shift is subtle yet powerful: laughing when he does not mean it, agreeing when he does not truly agree, constantly offering time even when he is overwhelmed. All of these behaviors communicate insecurity instead of confidence, and women, like all people, sense this immediately. Real confidence comes from speaking honestly, slowing down emotional responses, letting conversations breathe, and no longer needing someone else to define your value. Because when a man stops performing for acceptance, he becomes more grounded. It's more real and more attractive. And when this shift happens, women respond differently because they can feel that he respects himself. And people are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves. Creating emotional space is equally essential, because emotional space is not distant, silent treatment, or coldness. It is the natural breathing room that allows curiosity to grow. And many men unintentionally suffocate that curiosity by constantly initiating, constantly texting, constantly seeking emotional reassurance, without realizing that their intentions, though genuine, create pressure because they signal, "I need your attention to feel okay," and attraction dissolves under that weight. Emotional space allows a woman to wonder where you are, how you feel, what you are doing, not as a strategy, but as a natural response to a man who lives a balanced life filled with purpose, goals, friendships, structure, and identity. And when she senses that you are not desperately waiting for her, she relaxes, and her interest often begins to rise on its own, because people lean toward what feels stable, not what feels needy. Letting your actions show self-respect transforms everything, because attraction rarely disappears from lack of effort, but rather from the wrong kind of effort. When a man treats his own time boundaries and emotional needs as unimportant, he teaches the woman to treat them the same way. Self-respect is not arrogance or dominance. It is the quiet, steady expression of personal value. Choosing responses with clarity instead of urgency. Saying yes only when it is genuine, refusing to abandon yourself to be chosen, and behaving like a man whose life does not collapse around one person. And women feel this energy immediately, because when your actions show value, others naturally respond to that value. Building a life that pulls instead of pushes is another core principle, because attraction does not grow when someone becomes your entire world. It grows when your world already feels fulfilling, strong, and meaningful, and a partner becomes a beautiful addition rather than your only source of purpose. Men often lose their natural magnetism when they pause their hobbies, stop pursuing goals, lose their routines, or evolve their emotional state around one woman, and no one feels drawn to someone who has stopped living for himself. Attraction grows when a man carries momentum in his life, when he moves with direction, when he chooses himself, when he invests in personal growth, and when he allows a woman to walk beside him, not replace his entire identity. Using silence as strength is an advanced skill, but a transformative one, because silence grounded calm, silence not reactive, Silence gives both people space to feel and recalibrate. Men often rush to fill silence out of anxiety, overthinking, trying to fix every emotional shift, but the constant pressure to explain, reassure, or talk can overwhelm a connection sometimes. The strongest move is to pause, breathe, listen, and choose your response from stability rather than fear. Silence creates emotional safety. It allows her thoughts to surface. It shows maturity, steadiness, and control, and women feel more comfortable opening up when interactions are not crowded with urgency or emotional noise. Responding instead of reacting is one of the most powerful shifts a man can make, because reactions come from fear, assumptions, and insecurity, while responses come from composure, clarity, and emotional grounding. When a man learns to pause for a moment before answering a message or speaking during conflict, he communicates strength and emotional intelligence. Unpredictability in a woman's behavior becomes less destabilizing because he no longer tries to fix every mood or misinterpret every pause as rejection. Instead, he becomes a steady presence, and steadiness is one of the strongest forms of attraction, because people feel safe around someone who does not crumble under uncertainty. And when a woman feels emotionally safe, she becomes far more open, expressive, interested, and connected. When you integrate all these principles together, stopping approval seeking, creating emotional space, showing self-respect, building a meaningful life, using silence with strength, and responding with grounded clarity, you shift from chasing attraction to inspiring attraction, not through manipulation or tactics, but through becoming centered, stable, confident, and secure within yourself. And it is this version of you that naturally draws others, including women, without force, pressure, or performance, because confidence, authenticity, and presence are universally magnetic, and they activate interest, curiosity, and respect in ways effort alone never will.